Cool. Welcome back, everybody. Our next speaker on this beautiful day is Mr. Kilindi Iyi. Kilindi is the head instructor and technical advisor of Tamarian Martial Art Institute. A world traveler and mycologist, Kilindi has presented on the subject of psilocybin as far north as Norway and as far south as Australia. His exploration and research centers on high-dose psilocybin mushrooms. Anybody that's watched his videos or heard interviews knows that. Kilindi shares information gleaned from many excursions into the hyperdimensional and interdimensional realms through his direct experience with dosages in the 20 through 50 dried gram range of mushroom ingestion. Eat your heart out, Terrence McKenna. Kilindi brings decades' worth of traveling in novel states of consciousness to share, coupled with the skills of master cultivator of exotic mushrooms, which lends a powerful and authenticity to his presentations. Kilindi remains a student, teacher, and advocate for the hallucinogenic experience. Everybody, my great honor to welcome Kilindi Iyi.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Always a pleasure when I can speak to folks about one of my...
Watch the cord. Notice where your hand is.
Yeah.
You're cutting the mic out.
Yeah, up there. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right, good. Always a pleasure when I can speak to folks on one of my life's passions, and that is the engineering of understanding about some of the things that are in the psychedelic, entheogenic, and hallucinogenic realms. I've been doing it for a little while, and I get a chance to share my opinion on some things, and that's really what I'm doing. Nothing is written in stone. People will have different ideas about this, but I'm going from what I see and what I feel and what I've experienced over close to 5 decades of hallucinogenic use. So let's get started. My talk is about connections. I'm going to be speaking about Bitcoin, which is in the news. As a matter of fact, just this week, Congress was grilling Facebook on LibraCoin. LibraCoin is the new rendition that white paper was just generated, and Facebook utilizing Libra as a e-coin, as a currency, and the Congress wanted to know what they were going to actually do. So they had hearings all this week on Libra and was definitely throwing in Bitcoin along with it. President Trump went out earlier in the week against Bitcoin, said he didn't like it, but one of the congressmen basically laid down the law about Bitcoin and centralized governments, fiat currency, gold, and other things that are part of the new emerging cryptocurrency space that is really taking over the monetary systems of the earth. Bitcoin right now, most people don't know, is the 8th largest currency on earth. It's much stronger than the ruble and many other currencies on earth, and people just don't know because they're not in the space. But Bitcoin is a psychedelic currency. It is permissionless. In other words, you don't need anybody's permission to buy and pass Bitcoin. It is a peer-to-peer utilization of wealth. In other words, I can send it to you anywhere around the world, and I don't need to ask permission like I do with Visa or if I'm at the bank or something like that. It's based upon a transdimensional currency of which I have experienced under high doses of mushrooms. You got to pay wherever you go, even in the psychedelic realms. If you want to go through the wormhole to the extra dimensional areas of the multiverse, you know, they don't just let you come to the, hey, well, you know, it costs $47,000, just like getting on Spirit or U.S. Air or Delta. You know, it's like, okay, you want to go through the wormhole, you have to pay. But it's a download, it's a transferring of wealth from the multiverse into your particular house. Because national states are just really areas of slavery. It is your house, it is your family energy that is the most powerful thing that you have, your DNA, because DNA is a blockchain. It is a ledger of your ancestry, just as you want to know how much Bitcoin you have or how much of anything you have, you do it on the blockchain, which is a distributed ledger. In other words, it's a ledger. It's just a record of what's going on. And that record in the blockchain is distributed through many different computers, through millions and millions of computers. That's why they can't stop it. And Patrick McHenry, who is a senator from North Carolina, said that Bitcoin is unstoppable. And why is it unstoppable? It's unstoppable because there's no central location. Nation states, countries utilize. What's going on here? Okay. Nation states and countries utilize their power to control world finance. Just like they call Libra coin to Congress, okay, what are you guys going to do? What are you guys going to do? Because if Libra coin goes through, it becomes the largest central bank on earth. Facebook, with its 2 billion members, makes it the most powerful bank on earth. So Congress said, hey, you guys come down here, we want to know who's going to let you all do this. They opened an office in Switzerland, and centralized currencies are just that. They're centralized. There's a CEO, there's an office, there's service for the computers, so that nation states can come in with the draconian high steppers and shut your office down because they know who to get. You know, this is the CEO, we're going to arrest him. We're going to seize the computers and the records. We're going to take all those records and we're going to charge you with something. But with Bitcoin, since it's based upon the mathematics, it's decentralized, meaning that it's through millions and millions of computers. So there's no CEO to arrest. There's nothing that you can see because there's on millions of computers, and people, you know, you can't see millions and millions and millions of computers even not knowing who has the computers on the blockchain. So the permissionless system of Bitcoin is unapproachable by governments. It is your money. It takes the middleman out, takes the third party out. You can buy what they call cold wallet, such as a Ledger Nano X, and you can put the wealth of your family on that Ledger Nano X and have it in your pocket. You can put it in a safety deposit box, which I wouldn't suggest to do. You can put it in a pipe and bury it in the backyard, and it's still yours, and the record of it is in the hyperdimensional realms in cyberspace. It's not held in any particular place. Now they'll say, okay, well, what is Bitcoin backed by? You know, the dollar until Nixon came in used to be backed by gold. But in reality, what is gold backed by? It's backed by that you figure that you can get some money off of it at a later date when you want to. But none of them are backed by anything other than your knowledge and information on that you can utilize it at some future date. I always say, what is a rookie Mickey Mantle rookie card backed by? When I was a kid, they used to have pops, which were bubble gum. 10 cents. You pay 10 cents, you get a bubble gum, and there was a baseball card in it. So, the Mickey Mantle rookie card, you bought it at 10 cents. What is it worth now? $579,000. and it was just a 10-cent baseball card. What is it backed by? I don't think anybody here would refuse a Mickey Mantle rookie card, nor a Superman #1 comic book, which is worth $3 million in mint condition. It is our consciousness, what we put into it, that makes it thus and so. And that's what makes it transdimensional. It goes beyond this three-dimensional 5-sense reality in which we're in. It goes into the multiverse. It's the same thing that Jabba the Hutt called for when they put Han Solo in the carbonite and he said he owed it a currency. It's the same thing in Jupiter ascending when she went from the Earth into space and got her legacy by getting the coin stamped on her wrist. This thing is bigger than what we can imagine. Just like the mushrooms are bigger than we can imagine. I entered the space at a different vantage point than most of what's going on in the space today. Most of it is psychiatrists, psychologists, anthropologists, clinicians, getting rid of depression, getting rid of post-traumatic stress disease. All those things are noble pursuits. But the first and foremost utilization of mushrooms is the exploration of consciousness. It is about us becoming more than we are. It is beyond the human. That's what the first purpose of it is. So all of the other things are to clear all the things out of you that are human, your ups and downs, your loves and hates, all of the things that you think may be holding us down on earth. It's about what we are becoming very, very quickly. The children are moving into different spaces. You know, many of us try to cling to the past, and the past is gone. That's what is happening in Congress. That's what's happening with many of the older folks. You know, you're riding and clunking along in your Model T, and they're going, "Bye, get a horse." that loud thing. Young people don't want to have gold because it's not infinitely divisible. You can't get a gold bar and walk across borders with it. I've just come back from Mexico at the Food of the Gods retreat, which we have in Oaxaca every year, where we go and hike to the top of the mountain to the Aztec ruins, smoke the toad on top of the mountain, take 3 hours to walk back down off the mountain, have lunch, and that evening we take the Zapacotorum mushrooms, which are the thunder and lightning mushrooms that grow in the mountains. When lightning strikes, they send the young boys up into the crevices in the mountain and pick the mushrooms. These are the Olmeca, Tolteca, Mayan, Aztec mushrooms that are encoded to that particular place. We had a wonderful time at parks. We had challenging times at parks. I just stepped out to the back where one of the participants there called me while the other speakers was going on, and he said, "Thank you for Mexico." Prior to that, I was going to kill myself. I was going to jump off a bridge. And he said, "Thank you because you saved my life." I said, "I didn't save your life because it's not about me. It's not about personalities. This is about the wine and cheese parties and where you can go to Prague and Amsterdam and to Paris and to London and be in the space while you're eating cheese, drinking wine, and pontificating on the information that you have gleaned in your one trip of everything so you can write your book." This is real. This is about real people. This is about going into this because it's dealing with your life and beyond your life. It's practicing death. This is the journey of the alone into the alone. You can't take and drag everybody with you. That's what makes mushrooms different. The ceremony and how you prepare for a high dose mushroom trip is to chew and chew try not to throw up. If you throw up, and you make it to the toilet throw up, you look in the toilet and you count how many mushrooms are in the toilet, and then you go back to the freezer and eat approximately the same amount. This is the journey of the alone into the alone, into loneliness and the alone into the alone. Darkness. It's not all bubbles and fairies and love and things like that. I said in one of my other speeches, we need more Dr. Strangers. Doctors that are going to explore. Doctors that are going to push the envelope. Yes. Doctors who are going to push the pedal to the metal. They say, oh, you do big doses. I'm not the only one doing big doses. I'm just the one with the big mouth that's out here. There are thousands of people doing high doses. And that's not to belittle people who are not doing 20 and 30 and 40 grams of mushrooms. I take my hat off to anybody, whatever dose you've taken, because you've stepped into something different than the regular three-dimensional five-sense reality of which we exist in most of the time, and we misnomer as reality. Everything is reality. Everything that you experience is reality. When you go on a trip, it's not, I'm hallucinating and it's not real. It's just as real as you standing or sitting where you are, because it's about consciousness, exploring that consciousness. We are magical. That's why they call them magic mushrooms, because mushrooms are magical. They are the quintessential hallucinogen of this earth. They're the oldest. They come before we had domesticated fire to boil water to make ayahuasca. Mushrooms gave them the formula and showed them in the forest where the trees were and where the vine was to find. They illuminated. All right, guys, look, we got 6 mushrooms left. They don't grow good here. What are we going to do? Mushrooms, what are we going to do? Okay, Harry, you eat the 6 mushrooms and tell us what we're going to do with the mushrooms thing. So he eats the 6 mushrooms, walks out into the jungle, and he sees this vine growing. And he sees this tree. And the mushroom say, put them together, boil them in some water, and drink. So ayahuasca was born. But it was before we domesticated fire. It was before we made a pot to put water in it. Mushrooms were here 465 million years before any plant on earth was around. Mushrooms ruled because they're interdimensional. They're extraterrestrial. The spores are some of the hardest things in nature. They can percolate into space and move interstellarly until they find the right spot that is wholesome for it to be able to flourish. Fungi is a fundamental principle in the universe. We're looking for extraterrestrials, looking for intelligence. Mushrooms are intelligence. Be it that they are an organic technology. They were engineered. Just like in contact, we said, we don't know where the technology came from. It was here when we got here. Just like the indigenous people here said, when we got here, those mountain things were here. When we got here, there were cities here. Now, those who know about the Younger Drive, we're not going to get into that long story. But in the Americas, there was high technology. And it was decimated and destroyed by the four comets or asteroids or whatever they were that came over the top of Canada, hit Saginaw, Michigan, knocked ice all the way to North Carolina, sent 1,000-foot tall freshwater tsunamis across the United States, flushed fresh water into the salt water, because when solar radiation hits the equator, it is trapped by the saline in the seas, and as it goes north because of the North Atlantic current, that warmth is liberated slowly over time, and that's how we get our temperate zone. But when you put all that fresh water in there, it let loose the heat before it got north and sent us into what was called the Younger Drive before the mini ice age of 1,300 years. Right after the Pleistocene, the last ice age that we had warmed up. Well, that's another story. But Bitcoin and mushrooms are built on previously successful models. Bitcoin is based upon DNA. Bitcoin's blockchain is the same system as DNA. The mycelial network, which is the internet and the internet of the earth, is in the ground. It binds the earth together. It's the plant intelligence, because plants grow because of not only the topsoil of which mushrooms have produced, but also because of the mycorrhizal relationship between the roots of plants with mushrooms. That's why when an invader comes into the forest and you have trees in the front who encounter that invasion, be it tree virus or some type of pest or some type of pestilence, through the mycelial network in the roots of the trees, it relays information to the denser parts of the forest so that they can manage a defense against this particular malady that's coming into the forest that will destroy the genetics. We live in a magical world. Technology is encroaching on that. But ultimately it will blend, because ultimately our understanding of this is that this is a simulation. This is a computer program. Simulations embedded within simulations embedded in simulations. And we are working on algorithms in the superstructure below the Planck length in the infraparticle realms, which generate the macro universe of which we exist. That's why in Africa we say that the soul is very, very small, meaning that it exists in the quantum realm. They say the same thing in the Mahabharata, in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna speaking to Arjuna. He says that which you are, no fire can burn you, because you're too small. What you are is too small. The molecules that create friction, that create heat, are molecules. We're talking about orders of magnitude below that. No air can make you dry. Why is that? Because you're too small. No air can make you dry, because those air molecules are way up there. You way down here. No water molecules. No four earth, wind, fire, and water can't touch you because it's smaller than that. When we look at things like Bitcoin and its relationship to the multiple dimensions of which we exist, we're talking about not just a currency, we're talking about not feeling, but an interconnection between your genetics, who you are, where you come from, where you're going to, and your particular wealth that you exist with. Because everyone has a chest of Bitcoin. Now, of course, they don't call it Bitcoin, but you have a chest of wealth that is inexhaustible. But you came to play the game. You put your quarter in the machine. You stuck until the game runs out, or you win. And you're not gonna win on this game. You're just gonna go back and have to put another 50% in and go someplace else. But your wealth is inexhaustible. Just as your family line comes through the blockchain of DNA, your currency comes through the blockchain and exists with Bitcoin. Now, don't take my word for it. Read the literature. It's based upon mathematics. It's based upon sound mathematics. It is inflation-proof, because there's only 22 million coins that ever be mined. Those 22 million coins are going to have to service the whole earth. At this time, 7 billion people. By the time it's 8 billion, those 22 million coins will have to service the whole earth. But each Bitcoin is divided into Satoshis, after the man who was supposed to invent it, who they can't find. Satoshi Nakamoto. There was no Satoshi Nakamoto. It's a download. Even if a group of folks so-called invented it, it's a download from the hyperdimensional realm of where currency, transdimensional currency exists. The algorithms that build what we see as the Satoshi and the Bitcoin were downloaded from that realm. So each Satoshi can be divided into 100 million. Meaning that once the dollar's gone, because it's going, Deutsche Bank is in trouble right now. Folks are grabbing money out of it left and right. In Nicaragua, they're buying Bitcoin. In Brazil, they're buying Bitcoin. All through Europe, they're buying Bitcoin. Africa, they're buying Bitcoin. North and South Korea are buying Bitcoin. People all over are buying Bitcoin because they're keeping it quiet in the United States. Even if no person in the United States bought Bitcoin, it would still be worth millions and millions of dollars because the whole other part of the world is happening. So, mushrooms, the spores are like the Satoshis. The mushroom, the fruiting body, is like the Bitcoin. Its information is contained in the DMT record halls, of which Helena Petrovna Blavatsky of the Theosophical Society, Annika, the rest of those folks, late 19th century, early 20th century, brought in what was called the New Age, called the Akashic Records. That's the Akashic Records. That's the DMT records. That's the tryptamine compendium of knowledge and information that everything that exists goes into the transdimensional blockchain. Everything. Every kiss. Every scrape of the knee. When you bump your head. When you take ayahuasca and throws up, it all goes into the record room. You need your keys to be able to access this information. And that's in the DMT compendium of knowledge and information. Dimethyl. You know, I have it out all the time with folks on the internet and some of our luminaries who say, well, mushrooms are DMT. 4-phosphorylation, N-dimethyltryptamine, dephosphorylates into psilocin. Psilocin is DMT. Work the way you want. Of course, everything has a particular signature on it. Each batch of mushrooms that you grow in your monotub are going to have a little tweak, a little difference in there, even in the same bunch. That's why mushrooms in Mexico have a particular signature to them. That's why mushrooms in Australia have a particular signature to them. And don't think the Aboriginal people there just breathe. They don't. They utilize psychedelics also. Everybody was using psychedelics. Secret societies, guilds. They got it and took and sucked it out of the people, the regular people. Regular people haven't had a chance to get this for 10,000 years. Now we're standing at the beginning of a new age. Colorado, Denver, Oakland, this is what's coming. And when the rest of the folks jump in and start, you'll be in the vanguard. Especially if you know how to, put some drain cleaner and some mimosa together and you know how to, put some mountains up together. You're going to be in high demand. Got a couple of cactuses in the backyard, things like that. They're going to delude you. Because once people know and get past the propaganda of the last 40 years, Ronald Reagan, Nancy Reagan, just say no, this is your brain on drugs. When this happens, and people start to understand it, I had a guy call me who, for 20 years, I told him about mushrooms. He's like, no, brother. I can breathe my way into it. And that's fine. The breathing goes along with the mushroom. The posture It goes along with mushrooms. Your meditation, that's what you use to stay focused, to stay in line with what you're trying to do when you go into the space. Instead of just wandering around. Oh man, what's that? A guy with 4 heads. Oh man, what's that? A lady with 14 arms. Oh man, what's that? We're gonna put high werewolf. But you went into the space under certain circumstances. You wanted to speak to your grandmother because your grandmother died after you all had an argument about Jesus. And you didn't get a chance to tell your grandmother, I'm sorry arguing with you about Jesus, telling you that there's no such thing as Jesus, that it was made up by the Piso family, Roman aristocrats. The earliest Christian church was a mushroom cult. Because you found some new information, you read a couple of books and things like that, the mushroom and the cross, and a little bit of Terry McKenna on YouTube and stuff like that. And your grandma had an argument. You went back to Philadelphia. Your grandmother stays in Scranton. But you never got a chance to tell your grandmother, I'm sorry. There's no reason to argue with your grandmother about Jesus, telling her that, Christianity is a mushroom, calling Jesus is a mushroom. That is not going to fly. Let her go and do her thing on Sundays, and you just keep doing your thing and be respectful. But you're going into the space to access the ancestral realm by unlocking your DNA, which is your grandmother now inside of you, and going to your grandmother and apologize. Your meditation is to keep you, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, 300-foot werewolf. Okay, lady with 16 arms. Man with 4 heads. I'm walking straight to my grandmother to sit at her feet and apologize and say, Grandma, you died. I'm sorry you died before I could tell you that I'm sorry for arguing with you. But I'm going to tell you right now, because you have access to grandmother. Psilocybin opens up the language portion of the human consciousness that is hooked to sound, which is slowed down light, and how you access these things. Language. This is language. These are beings that were shown to the people in the early times when mass coronal ejections happened tens of thousands of years ago, and sunspots shown in the sky, these things. This is the seat of the ancestors. This is the vehicle in which you move through transdimensionally your family, because what Asante said in Ghana, Sikatwa Kofi, the stool descended on Friday, because the transdimensional stool, which is the golden stool, the Asante, which holds the soul of the family. It holds the unborn. It holds the people who are alive and the people who have passed on. This is the craft. This is the vehicle. When the Masons say, we're building the craft, we're building a society of craftsmen. It ain't a craft like you making plastic. It is a transdimensional craft where you sit. Your seat of power. Where the ancestors live and the unborn live. If you heard I didn't do the PowerPoint program because you really couldn't see it. Different cultures have different ways. And it's good that many of you are moving towards re-erecting the European line inside of this thing. I was the only one running around talking about, why are you trying to be a South American shaman? You got all that Merlin wizard stuff and John D and all that kind of stuff. You should be busting Ireland open. You should be up there with the Vikings. They had all this stuff. You had it. And you will. All that witch and some wicked stuff that y'all got, golf courts and all that. You trying to go to South America and you trying to watch it. When they got this, it's in September, there's so many other mushrooms growing all over the place, and Stonehenge and all that kind of stuff. We have to be real. We have to understand what's going on here. This is the offshooting. This is the off-ramp. You're probably the last generation of humans that will be. There won't be no more humans after this. You're going to be a cyborg. You're going to be a mushroom head. You're going to be something. Or you're going to be a cow in a zoo. They're going to be talking about, walking past, talking about, this is what people used to be. You know what? You know what? They can't fly. You know what? If they want to go to Portland, they have to get on a metal piece of metal with 2 fans on it. The skin of it is thick as a aluminum Coke can and fly all the way from the city of Detroit, where I live, 3 hours to Las Vegas, sit in Las Vegas and Las Vegas is supposed to be a center place. I've been to Las Vegas, but they don't have nothing in the airport. You can't buy a veggie burger, you can't get no tofu, all that kind of, beef, shredded pork and beef burgers. I'm like, why don't y'all come to the 20th century? Then wait there 4 hours, then leave and come to Portland. They can't even move Transdimensional. They can't, like 1967, Bewitched. And you're in Portland. And that's this first phase stuff. You don't even have to go to Portland. You're already everywhere. So, talking to you and trying to convey the things that are trying to convey, you know it in your heart, what you are. That's why you're the vanguard. You're pushing forward where others fear to tread. The young lady earlier searching. That was a cocaine, DMT, psilocybin, LSD. She had everything but a fifth of Hennessy. How do you do that? How do you do that? I'm like doing it all. Like, wow, you made it back. and I go to these festivals. I'm leaving here 3 days, and then I'm going to Budapest for the Zara Festival, and they'll be there. Everything will be there. Hey, you won't try this? I'm not trying nothing. I don't know what it is. I'm not doing it. I got to see my mushroom and eat it. I'm not just getting somebody to run off the side of the mountain and, hey man, take this, and it's some orange steel and stuff like that. That'll run through the psychedelic community like wildfire. Kilindi laid out on the side of the mountain, and we told him to stop taking them mushrooms, but it wasn't mushrooms, it was a little orange peel. So, people do things, a lot of different types of things. I'm not a purist. I've tried many different things. Because I'm a lecturer and I like to be able to talk intelligently on some things, but mushrooms is my bailiwick where I stay. Yep. Because mushrooms will reproduce the experience of any of the others. Iboga, ayahuasca, it'll do the cacti, it'll do Hawaiian baby rosewood at different doses. As I said before, it's the quintessential hallucinogen of this earth. It's not a plant. It is a fungi built upon the blockchain. It is merged with human beings. It intercalates into your DNA. Once you take the mushroom, you're in. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it'll work its way through. It'll open up, give you access to unimaginable places. talk about the macroverse, the microverse, the introverse. How we access these things in these places in these realms. And as I said earlier, it's not all bubbles and whistles and fairies and angels and all that kind of stuff. There's some dark stuff out there because darkness is part of it. You will encounter it if you keep going. But you got to push forward. Yes, there have been people with problems. People call me, well, not call me, but Facebook and Instagram, and I don't do Twitter that great, so I'll get into that as soon as I drop Facebook altogether. They call me with problems. You know, and I'm a forward escape kind of guy. You know, I took 15 grams of mushrooms and I don't know what to do. I keep thinking in a loop, you know, not feeling the same way I did before and things like that. And I got a real quick response. Take more. Now it works. Take more. Because you're going to have to work your way through it. Nobody can work their way through it but you. Now, I'm not saying don't deal with people or different clinicians or people that are going to help you through, but ultimately, you got to get your butt up off the ground, stand up, and face whatever's before you. That's the only way you can get out of this thing. And nobody gets out free. You have to put in some work. You've got the nerve to say psychedelics is pretty wild. The yoga people call me, oh, well, you trying to get in without the work. No, this is work. If you take a sufficient dose, you're going to work. To hold on to what you got. To stand. We talk about azarensis. That paralysis is part of it. You get stuck. You take 30 grams of regular old psilocybin cubensis, you get stuck in 30 you get stuck in it. Well, one story, my story, I don't know if you heard it, I don't know how many of you looked at some of my talks and things like that. I crawled to the bathroom. Got in the bathroom, you know, did what I had to do. Got stuck on the toilet for, you know, a couple of million years. How do I get up off this toilet? Because everything is swirling around, dimensions are opening, creatures are walking through, and all that kind of stuff. I'm sitting on the toilet. You know. So I finally get up and I go to the bathroom door. I put my hand on the bathroom knob, open the door, look out, and there's nothing there. And I'm right across the hall from my bedroom, because setting is part of it. The bridge of the Starship Enterprise is in my bed with the transdimensional blanket and the inverted mushroom cap. I have one right here. You know, I'm moving through space. So I got the knob. Open the door, nothing there, so I close the door, go sit down on the toilet again. This is going to be a long night. I finally get up from the toilet, put my hand on the knob, open up, and the hallway's there, and the bedroom's right across. So I open the door, walk up to the bedroom door, put my hand on the knob, open the door, and I'm back in the bathroom. I'm like, okay, I'm tripping. And I crossed this hallway and grabbed the knob for the bathroom, for the bedroom, or was I just standing there thinking that I had crossed the hallway? So I go up and put my hand on the bedroom door and open it up. I'm in the bathroom. I'm like, am I moving or am I? So, you know, the only alternative is to go sit down on the toilet. Finally make it to the bed. Okay, I got a lot more to share, but Bitcoin is a hyperdimensional currency system that is downloaded into the human dynamic to be able to be utilized so that you can start practicing utilizing your currency for when you're no longer here. It is part of the blockchain of DNA, which you had that hooks you to your house, not nationality, not country, but to your house. That's why the big shots, they don't have passports and things like that. The House of Windsor, the House of Fraser, the House of Rothschild, the House of this, the House of that. They're not connected to any national entity. They're international. Mushrooms are to help you understand your interdimensional, transdimensional, hyperdimensional sovereignty as a multidimensional being in the multiverse, existing in multiple dimensions at one time. So, like I said, I got a lot more. I'm just going to add the PowerPoint program, but what I'm going to do is open myself up to questions because he said it's only like a few more minutes left. So open myself up to questions. If you don't give me a question in 30 seconds, I'll start talking to you.
Yes. How about taking mushrooms and making a tea out of it? When you drink the tea and not have so much nausea, do you take mushroom tea?
You can drink the tea, yes. I've done tea before. I don't throw up all the time. Sometimes I do. But if you got the queasy stomach, it's not really a lot you can do. I was just talking with, we were talking about alcohol extraction as opposed to water extraction. But sometimes that's just the price to pay to get in the amusement park. How come when you take ayahuasca and throw up, it's a divine purge? But if you take mushrooms and you throw up, you just throwing up.
What is the best way to get to hang out and chat with you? You gonna be around?
Meet me in the place over there. I'll be here all weekend. I'll tell you the thing about it. Yes.
I really like you say about Bitcoin is like DNA and mushroom DNA, right?
Yes.
I understand DNA, this is a code which determine our shape of our face or our behavior, Doesn't it mean this Bitcoin dictates our behavior or our...
Well, the blockchain dictates the algorithms that are in the blockchain and then also the algorithms that produce the consciousness of Bitcoin are part of a computer code. That's why you base Bitcoin usage on the mathematics. It's based upon mathematics and not based upon human frailties as far as, if you give me $30 million to hold and you only take, a couple $100 out a month out of my holding chest, I can use a couple $100,000 in this, and you won't even know because you only get the $100 out every once in a while. So I can use something. That's where it comes in. With Bitcoin, you can't do that. Number one, it's on the blockchain. Every transaction is known. And being that the human being is taken out, the third party is taken out, Visa is taken out, Citibank is taken out, Chase is taken out, Deutsche Bank is taken out. You don't have the third party middleman there to be able to control your currency. Because if you want to send a wire transfer, I want to send a wire transfer to Spain, it costs hundreds of dollars just sending a wire transfer, and then they got to know who you are, who you send it to, what for. It's like, dealing with customs. So which when I came back from Mexico, from the Fruit of the Gods retreat, I go to customs, the guys, come here, let me see your passport. Give him my passport. He said, what did you go to Mexico for? I said, I went to Mexico on vacation. I'm retired, and I want to go to Mexico. Who did you see there? Well, I saw some friends. Who are your friends? Went to meet them. He said, well, that's not information that's necessary for me to give you to cross borders. He said, you have a code on your phone? I said, yes, I have a code on my phone. He said, give me your code so I can look through your phone. I said, I'm not giving you my code to be able to look through my phone. I said, that's private. I said, I'm not consenting to any invasions of my privacy. I'm an American citizen. I got an American passport. I travel all over the world. I'm not going to give you the code for my phone. They said, well, we're going to take you to the back room. We're going to confiscate your phone. Then we're going to have a tech team come down and unlock the phone so we can see the calls you made and who you talked to in your Facebook on your phone. I said, well, you can do that if you want to, but I'm not going to open up the code on my phone. I said, you'll have to deal with the consequences of invading my privacy by opening my phone. So I said, what are you going to do? It was close to the end of the shift. I asked for the supervisor came. The supervisor said, what are you going to do? You know, he lives in Detroit, he said, all right, well, let him go. So they let me go. But they didn't let me go. There's other things working around me.
Right.
That they couldn't open my phone, they couldn't keep me, and I'm going to keep it moving. Questions before we get out of here?
Real quick.
Yes.
So I think I have seen one of your talks before on YouTube. If I'm correct, that it was the first time I heard someone say that psilocybin, while it could maybe a toxin, there's no level that we assume that it's actually lethal. I think that was you. And you mentioned something about 30 grams. Like, what is the closest amount you assume
Well, I never said that psilocybin is toxic.
Maybe it wasn't you then, but you did mention 30 grams a day. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, 30 grams, that was decades. No, right now I'm working with 50 grams dry.
50
Yeah, 50 grams, yeah.
At one time in one setting?
Yeah, at one time in one setting, eating. I even have a protocol. I have a elite swimming pool nose glove. Because you can't smell it, you can't taste it. So I put my elite swimming pool nose plug on, and I sit down, and I eat, and I eat, and I eat, and I eat, and I eat. When I'm finished, I rinse my mouth, brush my teeth, have some ginger tea, go to my bed, sit down, put on a crab lifted pad, grab the super blanket, and I say, Scotty got an engines ready? Yes, Captain, the engines are ready. I say, impulse power, take us out, Sulu, move forward slowly. Then I hit McCoy on the shoulder, as in Star Trek, the first of the newest trilogy, when he says, oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.